All right, so let's dive into a topic right now. And I got to say right now, I apologize. It's been extremely busy lately, so I haven't been able to record as much as I generally like to. But something caught my eye just the other day that I figured we really need to talk about, okay? And this is the idea of this Project Trinity, okay? Project Trinity, the bringing together of all sorts of, different designs, different prototypes, etc., to build a VW EV flagship, right? And I want to say right now, I think way too many companies get caught up on the idea of a flagship model for their car. We saw this with, for example, the Cadillac Lyric, okay? A very, very expensive electric car, which, honestly, no, the Celestiq, pardon me, Celestiq. I always get those confused. Anyway, Cadillac Celestiq EV got a lot of attention. It's also very pricey. The Trinity, Project Trinity from VW, got a lot of attention. Also very, very pricey. And now Green Car Reports has speculated that with Project Trinity being delayed, okay, and again, a number of sources are saying that now Project Trinity could be taking a little while longer. It's another problem, I think, for a lot of the European EV makers. They're losing serious ground to Tesla, especially with the Model S, Model S Plaid, and, the Roadster coming up in the near future as well. They're losing serious traction. And this could open the sort of area up, open the floodgates, okay, of a VW Golf that is electric. Now, here's the thing. You might be saying right now, well, yes, there's already an e-Golf, okay, which, yeah, there is. But it was kind of like just an awkward EV built off of the diesel and gasoline Golfs, okay? So it wasn't really anything revolutionary. Um, let's look up really quick. I'm curious the e-Golf range. Looks like the 2019 e-Golf had a range of 125 miles. That kind of puts it in the same sort of category as something like the Nissan Leaf, okay? Which I want to emphasize right now. That's fine. I've been a long supporter of Tesla maybe making an electric car that has like 150, 200 miles of range because for some people, that is really all they need. I think that in the near future, a lot of advancing EV technology is probably going to make that a lot less of a thing, but it's still fascinating to think about. Now, the e-Golf, however, was really overlooked because, in all honesty, it was a Golf that was not better than the regular Golf, okay? Yes, it was electric, but it was kind of like VW's compromise, right? It was VW's way to say, hey, we're going to make an electric Golf kind of because we feel like we need to, not really because we want to have an awesome hot hatch that's an EV. And by the way, a lot of people would be thrilled with that, right? A lot of people would be thrilled. So we've got this concept now that a new e-Golf could be born from the ashes. And I don't think that's super accurate because the Trinity project hasn't been scrapped yet, as far as I'm aware. But it could be produced instead of this flagship model, which a lot of these companies, again, they're really, really caught up on. It's just not something that a lot of people really care that much about because the company makes like 5 of them and then no one can buy them. But anyway, an e-Golf that is actually a respectable model, its own model. And this is a Golf concept we've got here on screen. It almost reminds me more of like the Polo because it is a 2-door vehicle. I guess it's technically 3 because the hatch is usually counted. Anyway, I digress, not super relevant. If VW can do this and they can really step forward with a solid offering, which again, Project Trinity, that could be pushed back until 2030 is what I'm reading now. 2030 is it's not exactly great. It's not really a great outlook. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably agree with that. That's a long time to wait. I mean, think of how far a lot of Tesla's models are going to go in that period of time. I would imagine probably really far. But yeah, 2030 timeline. I'm not a fan of that. I honestly think it's really not impressive. And VW needs to step up to something like this, like the VW e-Golf, which would be better. 250 miles of range, okay, that's probably going to be what VW needs to look at realistically to make this actually a viable option. Now, in terms of this competing with Tesla, I want to say right now, I think it's actually a great thing. And you're probably wondering, well, why? Less competition, that's better, right? Well, no, not necessarily, because here's the thing. Tesla is already so dominant in the electric vehicle market that I think some sort of impetus is needed for a very inexpensive Tesla EV, $25,000 Tesla, for example. We've thrown that idea out there a number of times. All of that started on Battery Day. You've really got to have a strong contender for that to be a thing that Tesla is going to want to start to do. And if we're looking at an e-Golf, which has like a respectable range, is a decent price tag. The golf, higher end golf models are not actually inexpensive. They're relatively pricey, I would say. Then you're going to see Tesla, I think, stepping out of the woodwork and saying, hey, we've got a contender here. We've got a company that could actually produce something that could result in some of our models, Model 3, Model Y, getting less attention. And then Tesla, I think, could say, let's go ahead, let's subvert that, and let's go ahead and set a new model out there that could really have large implications for the automotive world writ large. And I think if Elon Musk does this and he makes a car that is $25,000, $20,000, I don't really think it matters that much what the price tag is. So long as it's like under 30 grand or 35 grand, you're going to get a really good section of the market that wants a vehicle that is that price, okay? A VW e-Golf, that's going to be attractive to a lot of people simply because of the price tag and because it's understood as an already popular car. So Tesla could say, hey, we've got vehicles just above that price tag. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got an offering that is also in that price range. And not only that, let's make sure we've got a vehicle in the price range that beats that category, okay? Not to mention, if incentives come into play, there's been a lot of talk about incentives being primarily focused on manufacturing in the United States, battery manufacturing, etc. I think we've got to ask, can VW realistically do that to capitalize as much as Tesla can on these incentives? And I think with manufacturing being how it currently is, I think there's an argument for yes, VW could. I also think that Tesla is in a really, really good position to gain some serious market dominance here. And I do not think that Tesla should overlook that, okay? And I don't think they will. I think that if something like this happens, it's going to be a spark that really further ignites Tesla's interest in getting something out there that is, again, pushing into this same category. And it becomes less of a want for the company, right? Less of something where Tesla's going, well, do we want to do this? Do we not want to do this? And it becomes more of a necessity, hey, we've got to get this model out there. We've got to capture this market range. We've got to get this done because otherwise a competitor, a company is going to step in and they're going to, really want to push forward on these ideas and drive us out of this market. So again, I do think it's actually pretty exciting. I think it's something Tesla could do very, very well with. I want to ask you guys too, what do you think? Could this actually result in Elon Musk putting out there a very inexpensive electric car from Tesla, primarily focused on that sort of price range, which could be a competitor to something like the Golf? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Drop it a like right now. Subscribe, share with your friends. Have a great one. Adios.